Hello everyone, and welcome to a showcase of one of my ideas for a new Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC called the Trident Depths. If you ever watched my opinion on Pokemon, one of my very first videos I published, this video is sort of based around the second part of the video, where I give my ideas for Pokemon. Of course, some of my opinions and ideas then are not ones I have now, however this one is mainly focused on the Trident Depths. Let's get started. The Trident Depths is located west of mainland Galar, and is slightly bigger than the Isle of Armor. It's an aquatic wild area of sorts, with 3 different depths or biomes to explore. Its mainland areas are mainly built of rainforest with lush and large trees. When you arrive in the Trident Depths, your first area is Queen's Island, which is connected to a smaller island called Shrine Island, which seems to have a large mossy statue of a mysterious legendary Pokemon. You are first greeted by either Clara or Avery, depending on which version you chose, who are there looking for new Pokemon to add to their team. Immediately, you are challenged to a battle from your rival. Afterwards, Clara or Avery spots the legendary Pokemon jumping from into out of the water and back and tell you what they saw. At this point, you still haven't seen it. You both are then greeted by a new character who goes by the name of Tomas, the self-proclaimed marine Pokemon professor of the Trident Depths. It tells you the mystery of the legendary Pokemon, which is called Trident, saying it's only seen once a month and that many people already believe it exists, but nobody has been able to encounter it within the depths. Tomas then asks if you want to take on the task of capturing it yourself. If you say no, he will go inside to his research lab and you'll be free to do whatever except exploring the depths at all. If you say yes, you will enter the lab with him and receive a key item called the Oxygen Tank, which will let you dive into the Trident Depths. Tomas will then explain to you that keeping your oxygen tank full is important, and that there are special spots where you can refill them underwater. From this point, Avery/Clara will be necessarily useless, as you are left to do whatever you please. You can rebattle them for extra EXP, however their levels and teams won't change until the post-game. When you are about to enter the first depth, Tomas runs towards you to tell you a few more things. The first thing is that in order to progress any further into the depths, you will need to upgrade your tank. The second thing is that there are special star-shaped shells, which are used in the making of the upgrades, and that supplies are low, which means you'll need to complete puzzles and find areas where they may be hiding. Afterwards, he is done talking to you until you find all 10 star shells and go back to the lab. When you do, however, he will first ask you to a battle. Each time you come back to him, he will battle you with a completely different team with different mechanics in play. The first battle is based on weather effects, where he has a Galarian, Dugong, Castform, Poliwrath, Relicanth, and a Swampert. He will then upgrade your tank into a silver tank, which can hold up to 2 times more oxygen. He will then repeat the same thing in the second depth with 20 star shells instead, however with a little twist at the end. There will be a sort of mini-boss where you fight against a Dynamax Galarian Dugong underwater. After beating it, and when you come back to Queen's Island, Tomas will be surprised because there's no known research or information about power spots in the area, and that this can make for something bad in the future. Tomas then proceeds to battle you for again, this time, with a team focused on other regions' champions. He will have a Pidgeot, Dragonite, Metagross, Garchomp, Haxorus, and his Swampert again. However, this time he'll Dynamax his Swampert. Afterwards, your silver tank will become a golden tank, and he'll tell you there are no more upgrades to be had, and to go see why Trident is only ever seen, not encountered. You proceed to enter the third and final depth, where you have to be careful of dangerous obstacles and puzzles. You find the area of the ruins, where you see a large Pokemon standing as the protector of the ruins. This is the gatekeeper form of Galarian Unknown, which is unusable and only plays out during the story. After beating it, you then enter the Trident ruins, a similar yet darker version of the Abyssal ruins from Black and White. The music here is very quiet, calming yet cautious. There are no geysers in here to help you, and if you're forced out of air, you go back right outside of the ruins where there is a very large air geyser, just so you don't get pissed off. You quietly make it to the room where you see Trident sleeping, but then suddenly awaken. All of a sudden the room fills with Unknown and they rotate around you in Trident, which is similar to how they move during the Arceus event in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and a battle initiates. After you catch it, you return to Queen's Island and you are congratulated. It is implied that you help with researching it and the main story ends. Now that I've gone through all of that, let's talk about returning features and new mechanics such as oxygen. Oxygen. The oxygen tank works similarly to the diving mechanic in previous titles, mostly in Pokemon Black and White and Pokemon Black 2 White 2, with the Abyssal Ruins, but it's more mechanically fleshed out and annoying. If it runs out of oxygen, you'll faint and return laying on the shore of Queen's Island. There will be air geysers underwater, however, allowing you to fill up your tank, but these will be a lot more sparse if you decide to go much deeper within the depths. Your oxygen tank can be upgraded up to 2 times, making them able to hold more oxygen each time. The first upgrade gives you 2 times more oxygen, and the second gives you 3 times more oxygen. You start off with 1 minute and 30 seconds of oxygen. The first upgrade is a total of 3 minutes, and the second upgrade gives you a total of 6 minutes. Mining. The underground mining feature from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum is back, but in a different way. Instead of walking up to shining spots, you control a drill and find areas where these shining spots are, and the deeper you go into the depths, the more sparse the spots are. However, they have better rewards as you go. You also only have 5 minutes to go drilling each time, but through it, you can obtain fossils, items, shards, watts, and a new item called fossilized apricorns, which act as an ancient form of apricorn that makes Pokeballs similar to the ones found in Pokemon Legends Arceus. As far as the mechanics go, it is mostly the same as it originally was, with the minigame looking the exact same. Shadow Forms. Shadow Forms, most popularly found in Pokemon Go, are a new feature of Sword and Shield. Shadow Forms only appear at night and can even be shiny. They are mostly cosmetical, and Shadow Forms can now be transferred to Pokemon Home and to Pokemon Sword and Shield from Pokemon Go. Customization. New clothing, hairstyles, and a new skin color tab which allows you to change your skin color with new ones added. As well, certain customization options such as hair are no longer gender locked. Some of the new clothing is based off of previous protagonist clothing from previous mainline remakes, such as Fire Red and Leaf Green, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and Omega Ruby plus Alpha Sapphire. And now that I've talked about these features and mechanics, let's talk about the most important thing, the Pokemon. Returning Pokemon. In terms of returning Pokemon, at least 50 Pokemon return in the Trident depths, on top of all of the starters and mythicals. New Galarian forms. Something that gives excitement to a lot of people, new regional forms. There are only 3 new ones, but let me list them. Galarian Seal and Galarian Dugong, which are more tropical themed and have new details that resemble pineapples and palm leaves. They are now grass and water type. Galarian Unknown, a mostly cosmetical version of regular Unknown with more mossy features. It is still a normal type and still only knows hidden power. New forms. On top of getting a new regional form, Unknown's regional form also has an alternate form, which cannot be used, called Gatekeeper Unknown, which is meant to keep the home of Trident safe from danger. New Pokemon. The only new Pokemon is the 899th, Trident, the Trident Pokemon, which is a water ghost type who lives within a big sunken ruin within the deepest part of the Trident depths. It gets a new signature ability called Sacred Trident, which allows it to go first each turn, as well as increasing its own speed by 2 times each 4 turns. However, it loses defense by 1.5 times each 4 turns as well. Unlike every other Pokemon, Trident is the only one who can't Dynamax. However, ancient drawings in the ruins show that it may have been an ancient enemy of Eternatus's, alongside Zacian and Zamazenta, but it was the only one who was put to slumber by it and couldn't help defeating it. Gift Pokemon and Special Encounters. As for Special Encounters, you can have a very rare chance to find a shiny Wooper whooping around the shores of Queen's Island, as well as a shiny Furret walking around, with the same running mechanic that is found when chasing Galarian Zapdos. Now that you know about the story, features, mechanics, and special Pokemon of the Trident Depths, why don't we go to learn a little more about the geographical contents of it. Since you already know about Queen's and Shrine Island, let's talk about the most important areas of this new collection of areas, which are the depths themselves. The first depth you enter is called Abyssal Shallows, which is bustling with reefs and is very lively. However, it is also shallow and has loads of air geysers allowing you to refill easier. The second depth you entered is called Twisty Coves. This depth is similar to the first, however less lively and more twisty and larger in terms of hills and caverns. There are also more geysers here. The third and the final depth are called the King Depths, which used to be flowering with lush reefs, however they have died due to waste and pollution of the area due to water flow. An ancient metropolis used to be here, it seems, as tons of ruins can be found here. And the biggest and deepest area of the depth is where Trident awaits. There are also barely any geysers here, with most of them being closed off. In terms of real-life basis, the Trident Depths are one of the few Pokemon areas to not be based on a real-life area. And now you know about the geography of the Trident Depths. Well, there you have it, folks. The Trident Depths in most of its glory. I am planning a second part of the Trident Depths that focuses on the post-game features of it, as well as introducing a few new things. The second part will be coming out very close to this one, so stay tuned. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.